Hi everybody, welcome to My Good Life. I'm Uzma. As promised, I'm back again with another video, and this time I'm going to showcase how I make the Christmas wreath from all those cuttings that I did in my last video. I've also gathered up all the other things that I want to put around the wreath. Once again, they're all from nature and they're from the various walks I've had, various times of the seasons. So I'm bringing in a lot of the different seasons into my wreath. And that's part of that word I talked about last week, that connectedness to nature. And as I opened it all up, it reminded me of when I collected it. So for example, one of my walks, I collected all these cones and they've been drying for ages. In autumn, I collected these oak leaves. If you haven't seen my video about my autumn walk when autumn came, please do go and watch that, because you'll see where I gathered these from. And I got these leaves, I just picked them up and I pressed them in heavy books, and then I added a shiny varnish on it because otherwise it wouldn't stay and it would crackle. So it was all interesting. Look, they've got some beautiful colours here. Just noticed. Look at that acer. That's from autumn. I've also got this fantastic moss and loads of leaves. See a whole bunch of leaves there that I dried out. Interesting branches with lichen that will add some depth to that wreath. And then some fresh ivy that I've cut off, different kind of ferns, different kind of leaves. And this branch here is from the larch, and I thought it would add something. I don't know. Creating a wreath, a Christmas wreath or any decoration is a little bit like, let's see how it goes, what I've got. And whilst I'm doing it, I want to really not just be doing the act of making this Christmas wreath, but thinking about when I got those things, how it makes me feel, and just feel a sense of, I guess what I'm trying to say, just feel a sense of contentment and happiness. I'm going to put some music on, I'm going to make the wreath, and you are going to join me. So, So I'm dividing up. You can see here I've got the longer bits here, and I've got some very skinny flexible bits here, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get out the longer bits so it'll form the base of the wreath, and then find some flexible bits that will twine around and act as ties for it as well. That's what I'm doing right now before I actually begin the process. In fact, what I'll do now is I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's take a long piece. Yeah, see that? That's quite good. Not long enough. I think, here's a good one. So that's quite a nice long piece. And we're going to check it out. Right, so we're going to take another long piece, a little skinny one, so there's lots of flex there. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to just wind the flexy bits around each other's flexy bits. That. can see, you can hear the crackle. Don't worry about it. It's a little bit like I said, you've just got to test this out. See, it's still flexible, it's not breaking. It's now we've got to find a third piece. There you go. That's quite flexy. So I'm going to attach that. Attach that, wind it around there. See, now that's an idea. Okay, doesn't look very round, does it? But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. So I've been braiding, I haven't shown all of it, but I've been braiding bits as I've gone along. And you can see here, oops, I've made some very, very long strand as I have been braiding. I'm now going to bring this all together like that and braid it. It's quite hard to keep the camera on me, so I keep going back and forth with it. But now I'm going to make the sphere and bring this all around here and get some kind of shape going like that. So you see, this is where the cameraman is very handy. So I start off by myself, but then I'm struggling, so I try and get a cameraman in and to help me, and I'm going to get him to help me now. So cameraman, are you going to help? Great. So I got the cameraman to help me join up, and what we've done is we've braided through all these parts. Have a look here. Let's bring you close up here. So you see, all here is braided. And what you do is you take thin bits and braid it one way, and thick bits and braid it the other way. And at one point, it's long enough to form this sphere. Can you see close up? Now, if you see it from a distance here, see here it's quite thick and here's quite thin. This is easy now to work with, because all I'm going to do is take bits like this, where it's thin, slot them in, and now slowly work my way by twisting things around and braiding them in. Put the thick bit over this side, start working with the thin bit and braid it the opposite way here. You can see close up, and take it, braid it through like that. There. Look at this thick bit over this side and braid this through. Like that. Like I say in all my videos, I've got the basic here. It took a while. This took quite a while. I'm going to take a break, have that cup of tea and coffee, and come back to it and build it up. And I'll show you then when we begin to build it and put the foliage in. See you. For the cameraman. So whilst I'm waiting for the coffee, the tea to brew, let me show you the decoration I did for the Christmas. You remember I said to you that I was doing, picking up some twigs. This is what I did in the kitchen around the window. Just a few twigs I picked up along the way, and it just looks lovely. When you walk in the morning or any time of the day, it just makes you feel, you know what? Festivities are around the corner and time to take a break from work. I'm going to have my tea. So, that's the wreath. Now I'm going to trim these parts. I'm going to be trimming these little parts just to tidy it up and make it look pretty. I think it's pretty good because when I put bits on it, all the other foliage and the cones, it'll fill up a bit. It's given me enough of a sturdy wreath that I can put bits on it. It was quite hard work. I personally think it's a two-man job because I think the willow wasn't as tender as I wanted it to be. It was hard to bend, and it needed two people. But I've got there, and it's really sturdy. So I'm going to tidy these bits up whilst I have my coffee and start putting the foliage on. Hanging it up just allows me to put the bits on and see how it looks. Beautifying a wreath, I think, is the calming part of it. Just taking time, thinking through. This is all about aesthetics, really. What looks good. The good news is that with the wreath I can keep that for a few years, I'm sure, and all I'll have to do is keep changing all the foliage and things I want on it. So I'm really chuffed at the way it's turned out. Well, here it is. I have been filling it up, as you can see here, with all the stuff that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And I've been putting in everything in between these, in between the willow here, and just in the spaces, squeezing them in. I've tried not to use any wire. In fact, I haven't. The only wire I've used is the wire that's it's hanging on right now, and I like it. I like what it is. It also tells me that I can keep this willow. Will probably be okay for the next few years. I can even build on it next year and use it again, and the foliage will slowly die off, and I will remove it and collect some more over the following year. It's just the circle, isn't it? The circle is so symbolic of the year's ending, and we're filled with so much hope for the new year, whatever ups and downs may come. And it just allows me to reflect on my journey this year, some of it which I've shared with all of you, and some I hope to build for the following year. I've really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me do something a little bit different than most. I'll show you it when it's finished on the door. I kind of think it's finished now, actually. I don't want to add any more. I may add a little ribbon, just give a little festive feel as I hang it on the door. So to everyone out there, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.